Did you know that in Alberta, you may not be able to fully recover your losses? Let's talk about it. In Alberta, if you've been injured in a car accident and suffer certain types of injuries, the government has placed a cap on what you can be compensated for. This is referred to as the minor injury cap, and it's an artificial way to reduce what you would have received from the negligent party that hurt you. So first off, we have to turn back the clock. We're going back to 2004. In 2004, the Alberta government passed a minor injury regulation. This legislation placed a cap of $4,000 on pain and suffering for injuries that were deemed minor by the government. These injuries included strains, sprains, and whiplash associated disorder, also called WADS. So fast forward to today, there is some adjustment made based on the Alberta Consumer Price Index, or CPI. The formula looks like this. The Alberta Price Index for the 12-month period, the previous 12-month period is subtracted and then divided by that previous 12-month period. The minor injury cap in 2024 is $6,061. For the preceding year, 2023, it was $5,817, and in 2022 it was $5,488. So let's now quickly look at what injuries fall outside the cap. There are injuries that fall outside the cap that would appear to meet the minor injury definition mentioned earlier. These include WAD injuries that have an objective, demonstrable, definable, and clinically relevant neurological signs and/or fracture or dislocation to the spine. In addition, minor injuries that result in a significant impairment are also excluded from the cap. So let's talk about what a significant impairment is. A serious impairment is a substantial inability to perform essential tasks of the claimant's regular employment, occupation, or profession. This is despite reasonable efforts being made to accommodate. In addition, this also includes essential tasks of training for educational programs, but you have to be in the program or at least accepted to the program before the accident occurs. And lastly, if the person cannot perform the normal activities of just daily living. All right, so we got the framework, but wait. They decided to change up a little bit. So in 2018, the government decides to change legislation and broaden the definition of a minor injury to include temporomandibular joint injuries, essentially jaw injuries, with the only exceptions being damage to bone, teeth, or displacement of the articular disc, essentially the disc that allows your jaw to open and close. But wait, we're not done yet, because in 2020, they changed it again. So in 2020, the definition of minor injury was expanded to include any clinically associated sequelae of a sprain, strain, or WAD injury, whether physical or psychological in nature. The latter creating a much broader definition of a minor injury. So this greatly expands the definition of a minor injury, including both physical and now some mental aspects within that definition. Understanding these regulations are crucial because it can impact the compensation you receive for your injuries. So the one thing to remember about the cap is it only applies to damages for pain and suffering. Other hazardous damage like loss of income, out-of-pocket expenses, future costs, either in the form of income or care, or the inability to do certain tasks are not always covered within the minor injury regulation. Those just fall outside it and be in addition to. So I appreciate that understanding these regulations can be confusing. If you have any questions about the minor injury regulation, if you've been in an accident in Alberta, please reach out to our team at OFI Law. We have knowledge in the area and can help, and we offer free consultations.